Twitter announced its second quarter earnings Tuesday and surprised everyone. They easily topped Wall Street's earnings and revenue expectations. A lot of folks were predicting yet another quarterly operating loss because the company has struggled to find stability since going public. Senior columnist for Yahoo Finance, Michael Santoli, is here to break this down for us. All right, so how were they able to beat expectations?
Revenue came in ahead of expectations. Therefore, the demand from advertisers was stronger than expected, and that is their main source of revenue. It was a handy beat on the revenue side of things, but monthly users, which is a key number everyone looks at just to see how much growth in the actual total audience that these advertisers want to address through Twitter, did not grow very much. And the growth that they did have was of a lower quality. It's people who are basically getting Twitter by text message as opposed to the full, rich mobile app.
Yeah, so Twitter said, well, we grew it by 8 million people in this quarter, but you're saying it's SMS on text.
Yeah.
Do those people get the ads? I mean, if you're an ad buyer, you care about who's seeing your ads.
Yes, but the advertisers mostly care about the people who are looking at the full feed, and they're really the more engaged users who are going to be the ones who have the app or look at it on a PC.
So we saw something interesting happen with the share price today. All of a sudden, the shares surged on the news that they had beaten expectations, and then they dropped.
They dropped once investors got more detail about what's really going on. The company management had a conference call. Investors wanted to hear a few things. They have an interim CEO who's the co-founder, Jack Dorsey. They said they would have no update on the search for a new full-time CEO. Jack Dorsey may or may not be in the running for that. So that's a little bit of uncertainty that Wall Street didn't want to hear. And they also were just very squishy about what the growth outlook is. They said expect very little organic growth for the rest of the year. They have product issues, marketing issues. They have to hire a chief marketing officer. So I think the message was that it's still a work in progress, and they still haven't figured out how to get to that next stage of growth.
Is that something that a strong leader can figure out for them, or is the organization as a whole a little bit on thin ice right now?
There's definitely, they don't have a long leash when it comes to investors. And I think a lot of analysts and technology people in general think that there are some relatively easy fixes. For example, make it easier and more intuitive to sign up as a new user and to be served up sort of a sampling of content that you'll like.
But they're trying to expand their horizons by taking on Periscope, for instance. This is the app that allows you to broadcast yourself, but it goes on Twitter's platform, correct?
Okay. And there's a lot of excitement surrounding that. The idea of real-time video streaming is a great thing. They haven't figured out a way to actually make money off it yet, but that's okay. I think the issue is if you look at Facebook and how Facebook is dominating in video online on their social network, it seems as if Facebook is pulling away, and you still have YouTube out there. So the question is just how big is the pie for user-generated content?
Does this mean Twitter needs to consider how do you share revenue with the people who are using Twitter as a platform?
Certainly down the road, that has to be part of the consideration because that's exactly what YouTube's doing and, Facebook getting to that point as well.
And does Twitter also have to keep expanding in terms of its technological horizons?
Yeah, they really do have to improve the product. Right now, what you have is a relatively small number of very intense users who put up a lot of content and a lot of other passive people who just read what other people are doing. It's just not very much of a two-way street, even though the platform allows for that.
Both of them, very voyeuristic, even Periscope. It lets you spy on people all the time, but you don't actually have to actively participate.
No, and you don't. It's a very global platform as well. A lot of non-U.S. users. All those things are great. They do have usage spikes, though, around specific events, right? We saw the World Cup when you see certain very sort of heavy news events. That's all gets people excited, but it's not clear that that becomes a sustainable business month after month.
Michael, great to see you. Thank you
very much.